Hey there, metal detecting nuts. Today I'm going to cover cleaning clad. I'm going to start a little series here that is just basically for the beginners. A lot of you already know how to clean the clad, but this is more emphasis on for the beginner of what to do with all your dirty money that you find in the ground. When I first started, I thought I'm just going to take it in. I washed it off, under the hose, sprayed it down, took it into a Coinstar machine. I'd saved up a lot of it, and after several minutes, there was enough dust in there, plugged up the eye, and the service person had to come over about 5-6 times just for me to get around a couple jarfuls of change. So what I'm going to do is show you how I clean my change. Since I've been doing this, I have not had any issues having them go through the coin counters, that type thing. But I'll show you the whole process, and it's pretty easy. Now I'll turn you around here. First off, I'll show you kind of what I've got. I've got a tumbler. One of these tumblers I just got. It's a rock tumbler. I purchased this at, I believe, a Harbor Freight or somewhere like that. Whatever the cheapest one I could find. I tried some of the different types of tumblers. This one always seemed like it worked best. I also have my jar full of clad that I found, and it's all nice and dirty. So usually what I do is I take my clad out, pour a bunch in there. You can see the dust rising. It's getting kind of dirty. Grass in there, that type stuff. And I usually go, I've got 2 containers here that come with my tumbler, enough to pretty much fill those up. First time I did it, I had so much that it just took a long time to go through, long time to clean. So now I do it more often, probably 2, maybe 3 times a year. So I'm gonna get this together and I'll show you kind of what I've got, how I get it placed in there. All right, got my clad in my containers, got my barrel all emptied, ready to start collecting some more. So with these two, about 1/2 to 3/4. It starts getting too heavy, it won't turn on the arms in there. So I end up going about 1/2 to 3/4 full. I also like to throw in some bigger pieces of lead. All these pieces of lead I found while metal detecting. They're white because of the cleaner that I had on them. I didn't rinse it off last time. So I throw a few different size pieces in each one. And that's just to give it a little bit more oomph when it's turning around. Otherwise, what's happening is the coins all stick to one side, they stay flat, and they're not rolling around getting the dirt off. So these big chunks seem like they help and knock that dirt off more. So I'm going to close up my containers. Actually, before that, I need to fill it up with water, and I put a little bit of cleaner in there. So give me a second, I'm going to get some water. Okay, here we go. We got some water in here. Fill it up just a little bit over the top of all the metal. Same thing in here. I'm gonna fill this up just so it covers everything a little bit. Not completely full. Again, we're trying to watch our weight. Otherwise, it does not want to turn. Next, I put in just a little bit of detergent, or baking soda works well too. I just happen to have this that we don't use anymore. I'm just trying to get rid of it. So I just put in just a tiny little amount. This helps just kind of clean and scrub it up a little bit. When you go to rinse it off, it seems like it washes off easier. That was the white stuff that was on all the lead. I did not rinse it off when I was done. But it rinses off pretty easily when we're all done. So I'm gonna close these suckers up and we'll get them put onto the tumbler. Okay, they are all sealed up right now. Let's get them on the tumbler here. They are pretty heavy. I shake them a bit, get it turned around. Put that one that way. This one goes on that way. Let's see if it'll spin. It might be a little heavy. You can see how nice how heavy it is. Does not want to spin right away. So with this, I got a feeling I'm going to be taking one off, doing one at a time. It does spin pretty well this way. Just keeps it going around. All right, come back in a little while and see what happens. It's been going about a half hour, so I'm going to switch out the barrels, put the other one in, and we're going to clean this one up. So We'll take that one off. Shake that up a little bit. Pour it on. Gets it good spinning. And we're going to clean this one up. Take the top off here. You know, it's only been a half hour. If I clean it and see it needs more, I'll do more, but half hour seems to be pretty good. A little harder to do this one-handed here. I'll be back at the end of a second. Okay, got the top off, and that's what she looks like on the inside. I'm gonna take my strainer out here. We're gonna go rinse her off. A lot of junk in here, so I usually like to do this outside. Pour that on there. See a lot of the garbage and stuff sticking to the bottom inside there. So let's get some water. We'll rinse that off. Okay, a little bit of water. Rinse that off a few times. Then I bring it back inside to dry out. Back inside here, I like to spread this out on towels to help it dry out. And okay, you can see how I've got it. Just kind of spread out, helps it dry faster. Take a good day to dry. Looking for any coins that are damaged completely. Ones that I know will not go through the machines. So over here, another zinc penny that got in there, all chewed up. I take those out ahead of time just because I've learned that those do not go through very well. And I put those in another jar that I have. Some days they'll be the inheritance for the kids. They'll be able to yell at me because they have to take it someplace to get it cashed in if they want the money from it. So that's pretty much what I do. We'll take a look what that does in a little bit. Also here I'm going to pull out all my weights that I use to help clean this up. Didn't take too long. Pretty easy process. Doesn't take long and you can go cash these in shortly. All the dirt's really cleaned off pretty decent. There's a tiny little bit, but it's not enough to plug up the machines. No sense spending a lot of time in it. It'll run through fine just the way it is. So one of the things you gotta watch out for while you're cleaning them out and doing all that stuff, I have found silver dimes in here before. And today, I usually keep my wheat pennies separate. I've got 2 jarfuls of wheat pennies that I found. Those, typically I don't put into the clad coin. I'll clean them up separately. But today, there you go. Found a wheat penny. Must have missed it. 1951D. So that's going to go back in the other collection. Another thing I do is I take out all my dimes. We've got a collection in the house that I share with the family. And dimes from this, and then what else we get in normal change goes to something fun for the family. We go do something with it. So again, take out all your junk coins. I've got a jar full of damaged coins that the kids will eventually get someday. A bunch of foreign coins. I found some Canadians here. Just things that were covered up that wasn't sure what they were. After they're cleaned up, you can kind of tell better. So all right, we'll take a look at the other pile in a little bit. About another half hour. We're going to take our second barrel off. Shut that down. And I'll open this up. As you can see the same as the first one. Very muddy, very dirty. Just like what's expected. So we will take this outside and rinse her off. Just like the last round. Make sure we're outside. Pretty nasty stuff. I don't want it in my drain. Just coloring everything there. Put that in. See a lot of that dirt's in the bottom down there. I don't know if you can see that with the shadows. And let's rinse it off a bit. be pretty good. And we'll bring her back inside. Just like the last barrel, we're gonna spread this out over a couple of these piles and see what we can get done. Just like that first round, go through looking for any damaged coins, anything that's not going to pass through the coin counter. Sometimes I do take a chance. If I think, well, it's pretty close, maybe it will go through, I'll let some go through. Otherwise, looking for coins that may be damaged or something you may have missed before, like wheat pennies, silver coins. There's a busted up one. Things like that. Well, there, metal detecting nuts. I hope you enjoyed the video. Pretty short video, but basically how I clean my clad. I like to get it all cleaned up, turn it in. That's what I use to purchase new stuff that I have for metal detecting, whether it be new diggers, that type of stuff, or eventually upgrade my machines. I do keep a spreadsheet of all my finds I found over the last few years since I really got more serious into detecting, and I'll pop up a screenshot of my clad that I found over the last few years. Adds up to be quite a bit. Quite a few holes dug, but quite a bit of money invested right in that clad. So I take that in, cash it in, that's how I can purchase some new stuff. Maybe not just batteries. Talk to you later. Have a good day.